If fear sets in too much, like how do you overcome that? Ultimately, he knew what he wanted. He knew his goals and his passions, and he knew that entrepreneurship was going to be the way to build his legacy. Hi, my name is Anthony Hudson. I am a franchise advisor here at Franchise Sidekick. So one of the biggest things as advisors here at Franchise Sidekick that we work through with our clients is the timing and the process. And for many of our clients, a lot of that revolves around not only reducing their risk, but also managing fear. So this particular client, Mohammed, when I started out with him, he was working in a very high-level corporate job. He was in IT and very technical. He knew that he always had an entrepreneurial bug in him, and he had a long list of items that we had to work through and challenges in order to get him comfortable with even looking at franchises, let alone narrowing it down and finally going to confirmation day. So all in all, this process took probably almost 9 months. And I think in our industry sometimes, if we feel like we can't do right by our clients quickly and early, then we might give up on them or they might give up on us. And I think it's so important to let clients know that you want what's best for them. And ultimately, you can be patient with them if you know that they truly want to do something. It's just a matter of finding the right thing, reducing that risk, and managing their fears throughout the process. So the biggest thing on where we landed with Donut Envy with Mohammed was managing risk and feeling comfortable, right? So it's a low initial investment concept, minimal waste. It's not a lot of overhead. It's a simple staffing model. You know, Mohammed had managed people in the past and been a part of large teams, but he didn't want to start off with something that was going to be more than he could chew. Talking through every possible scenario and getting all his questions answered. And at the end of it, I wanted him asking about going to confirmation day versus me being the one to introduce that, knowing that he was ready and he was excited and he was running towards the finish line instead of potentially backing away from it. Fortunately for me, I've been in franchising for a long time and owned some different concepts. And a lot of my clients are very similar in how they started out. I was able to find a franchise that allowed me to stay in my corporate role until eventually I could work my way into fully being invested in working in my franchise business full time. And that's a lot of what other people want to work their way into. They want to work for themselves, but have that support system, right? The biggest thing is that franchise advisor is always going back to your why, your passions and preferences. So for me and for all of us here at Franchise Sidekick, it's not about getting you into a concept. It's about living life on your own terms and doing it with something that you can be excited about every single day. And there's always going to be some fear. You know, if sometimes we need to remind you of why you're doing this and give you a little bit of a nudge, it's always with your best interest in mind and for no other reason.